Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be talking about some different sheath options that are available for your Leatherman tools. Now we're going to get into some of the aftermarket sheaths as well, the aftermarket pouches, and while we're not going to cover them all because there's a wide variety of specialty manufacturers, especially if you're looking for like a pancake sheath or a very high quality leather sheath, your best bet probably is to go to Etsy. There's a lot of people that do custom sheaths out there that make some really nice sheaths. But today we're gonna focus on more of the basics that are out there that are available for purchase. And the first one we're going to be looking at are the standard Leatherman sheaths. Now, on the left we have the smaller sheath. It's built for the 4-inch tools, and on the right we have the larger. It's going to be built for the 4.5-inch tools. The smaller version also, actually both versions I believe, actually have an option where it would come like a wave sheath will, where it will not have the extra side pockets. This particular sheath is what you would get with the Charge series of tools. It's going to have extra elastic pockets on the side, both for your bit extender and maybe a little pen flashlight or a lighter or something like that. In here I have my Charge Black, and behind where the tool sets in this sheath, you actually have the option to carry one of your bit sleeves back here. So it has a little elastic pocket back there where your bit sleeve will stick in there. That's a very handy option for these particular sheaths. I also really like the button closures. Now, these do not have a horizontal carry option. These are only vertical, as most of the sheaths that we're going to be looking at are mostly vertical carry. This particular sheath, if you get it without the elastic pockets, is going to run you about $10, and that's going to be for both the small or the medium and the large versions. Now, if you get them with the elastic pockets, then you're talking about $15 per. So we'll set the smaller one to the side, and in the larger one here I have my Surge model, and you'll also notice that it's constructed much the same way, where you have the elastic pocket in the back and you have the elastic pockets on the side, as well as the same carry options. Let's talk now about the next sheath that's available from Leatherman for these tools, and that's going to be the MOLLE compatible sheaths. So the next version of sheaths that we have here are the MOLLE compatible sheaths from Leatherman. Now this particular one came with my Charge Black. This one was with one of my Mutt versions. I just recently picked up the Mutt EOD, and that's the sheath that I elected to get with it. So either one of these options, you can get them in either a black or a tan. Now, the extra large version, actually it's called the large version, but it's more so built for the Mutt. The medium version of this tool is actually big enough. I'm sorry, this is the large and this is the extra large. So the extra large is built more for the Mutt because it has that extended length on the pommel for that for that tool. Whereas the large version will actually handle the Surge. I have my Surge in here now, and you can see that it fits very comfortably in there without being overbearing. So if you're looking at most of your tools, you're going to be able to be just fine if you're looking at the MOLLE sheath with the large version as opposed to the extra large. Extra large is going to be specific for the Mutt. They are on this particular one, it does not have elastic side pockets. Now this version runs about $13, where on the extra large version it does have elastic pockets on the side that give you some extra carrying capability for other things, and this is going to run about $15. This will also handle your smaller tools, and they fit quite nicely in there as well. So it'll handle your 4 and 4.5-inch tools without much effort. One thing with the MOLLE compatible, obviously they are MOLLE compatible. They're going to carry in both horizontal and vertical. You can set these up in a variety of different ways, or on your packs or gear. So there's a lot of different options. You can see that on the extra large version there is a lot more capacity to weave them into those packs. So the larger version is actually a little bit better constructed than, or excuse me, the extra large version is a little bit better constructed than the large version, but the large version is a very nice option as well. The next sheet that we're going to be looking at is specific to the Wave. This is the original Leatherman Wave sheet that you can get for the Wave Plus and for the second generation Wave and for the Wave Plus as well, and they fit quite nicely. This is actually my original sheath for my original Leatherman Wave. This is a very nice sheath. These last a long time, and I don't carry this particular tool, but in the past I did, and this is the sheath that I would use for them because I really kind of gravitate more towards the leather sheaths. But of course, the newer nylon sheaths that come with today's multi-tools, actually I'll use those at work because they wear in quite nicely. But these leather sheaths are very well constructed. So if you if you have a Wave Plus and you're looking for a nice leather sheath option, Leatherman has the original Leatherman sheath available for the Wave, and it is $20. Now it's only vertical carry, does not offer any extra side pockets in order to carry other tools, but you'll notice that the Wave fits absolutely perfectly in that sheath. The next leather sheath that we're going to be looking at is also available from Leatherman, and this is available in 4 different sizes. So the one I have is specific for my Surge. It is going to handle your 4.5 inch tools. Then they have a version of size that is this is your, I believe they call this the large, and then medium, and then small, and then they even make a little one called the extra small that you get with the Heritage Micra. So you can actually get a little Heritage leather sheath for the little Micra or a Squirt, something like that. But they make these for all size ranges of tools. So here, the 4.5 inch tool, 4 inch tool, 3.5 inch tool, and then the pocket tools. Very good option for a leather sheath that's available from Leatherman as well. Now, the large, medium, and small versions of this sheath are going to cost $20 from Leatherman, and the extra small is $15. And this is much like the original Wave sheath in a lot of ways, but you can see that while the original Wave sheath here is a bit darker, this is going to be a real light tan, where this is going to be a kind of a dark brown or more of a reddish brown. So it doesn't come in multiple colors, and that's one of the drawbacks to it. You only get it in this particular color. Now, much like the original Leatherman Wave sheath, you only have spot for the tool itself. You do not have options for accessories to go along with it. It also is only vertical carry, but this is a very nice sheath option, and it is very well constructed as well. Now, the last sheath option that we're going to be looking at from Leatherman is going to be their Ainsworth Premium Leather Sheath. Now, these are quite expensive. These come in a couple of different sizes. You can get these in large and medium. So the medium is going to be for your 4 inch tools like your Wave, your Charge, Rebar, and this version that I have here is going to be for your larger tools, the 4.5 inch tools like the Surge and the Super Tool 300. This is a very nice premium leather sheath, constructed in a lot of ways like some of those others, but it uses the same clasp here. As instead of having a button, it has that little pass-through button like you get in the nylon sheaths. So it is a very premium sheath, a very nice color as well. And I'll bring the Heritage sheath back in here so you can look at that side by side, and then the original Leatherman Wave sheath as well. So these are the leather options that are available from Leatherman Tool Group to carry your multi-tools. The premium leather sheath is really nice, and they offer, all of them are just vertical carry. But you can see on the Ainsworth sheath that the leather here that grips onto your belt is quite a bit wider. It's also double stitched here, just like the original Wave is double stitched, but the Heritage sheath is just single stitched. So it's built a little bit better out of a little bit better material as well, and it's a very good looking sheath. It's what I use whenever I'm away from work and I'm just going out and I still want to carry my Leatherman Surge with me. Very nice sheath option from Leatherman. Now, this is very expensive from the rest of them. This is going to be better than double the price. So for both the large and the medium versions, it's going to run $50. The next sheath that we're going to be looking at is going to be the first one from the Aftermarket. This is the Clip and Carry Kydex sheath. Now, this is one I featured on the channel before. I actually don't have my Wave in front of me right now, but this one is specifically built for the Wave. I do have a video on this if you want to go back and check that out, though. Now, these come in like 3 or 4 different colors, and they make them for multiple different types of multi-tools as well. The Clip and Carry has a very nice clip on the back here, and it's removable without having to remove your belt. So that's one nice option to it. It also is a nice friction fit, and the multi-tools really fit in there well. Now, unfortunately, the Charge models of tools will not fit in the in this particular Kydex sheath. Haven't tried it yet, but I think you can loosen up the screws and maybe add a little bit more of a spacer here, because the Charge uses the outer scales. It's just slightly wider than what you're going to get with the Wave models, and so you may be able to make this work for the Wave version to fit your Charge as well. They also make this for the Surge, as well as other different multi-tools from various different manufacturers. I'm going to try to include links for all of these sheaths that we're going to be highlighting today in the description box below. The next sheath that we're looking at is one I just recently featured. This is the RAE Gear Friction Fit Sheath. Now, this particular one is built for the Surge, and it offers a spot for your bit sleeve that has a little spring back mechanism back there that holds that bit sleeve in retention, which is a very nice option. I've also got another one of these coming that is specific for the bit kit and extender for Leatherman tools, and they make these for a variety of different Leatherman tools, which I'll leave links to below. These are all very well constructed, run anywhere from about $25 to $35 depending on which model you're looking at. They also offer some magnetic version for a couple of different Leatherman multi-tools, and I'll link everything below for you to check out. The next option in a sheath is one that I got off of Etsy. This is a custom built sheath, and it is built to house both the Leatherman Surge plus the bit kit plus the extender. But it does get quite bulky. It is very well constructed though, and I ended up paying like $120 for this particular sheath. It's a bit bulky to carry like this because there's so much weight that's counterbalanced on your belt. I got it, but I've really never used it. I tried to use it once or twice, and it just did not work out well for me because it's just too bulky for me. I think there's other options out there that are available that work better. But as you can see, it does house everything in there quite nicely. You have your bit sleeves in the front, and then you have your extension right there. All riveted construction on the back. Very nice option. And there's a lot of different leathersmith on Etsy that make some very custom sheaths that if you're looking for something specific that you want to carry both your multi-tool, maybe a bit kit, or maybe a multi-tool and a flashlight, something of that nature. A lot of different manufacturers that will go out and make custom stuff for you to house your particular multi-tool. It's a very good option if you're looking for something that's kind of one-off. The next sheath that I have is actually my custom sheath that I use for work. This was gifted to me a couple Christmases ago by my brother-in-law at the time. This one was actually made by a leathersmith in Mexico, and what it does is it houses my Leatherman tool, my Surge on one side, and then the secondary pocket will actually hold everything. It holds my extra my bits, so I have 2 bit sleeves in there, and then the saw, and then my extension. Now on days when I don't need it, the reason I like this sheath so much is because sometimes I need to carry my crunch with me, and so on days when I know I'm going to be using that, I'm able to pull all of this out and then use this side for the crunch, and it works phenomenally well. It's a very nice sheath for what I do at work. Now the sheath that I use personally, this is the one that I carry for my Leatherman Surge. So I house my Surge, the extra saw. Sometimes I'll put a bit sleeve back here, and I always carry the extension with me. I don't usually get too overboard when I'm away from work. I don't normally carry the extra bits when I'm away from work, but during work I will use my custom one that allows me to have access to all that when times that I'm really going to need it. Now I do keep an extra bit kit close by. I keep one in the truck, so in case that I need it, I do have it, but I also have regular tools in there as well. So more often than not, I don't need those extra screwdrivers because I have real screwdrivers available at hand. But I do like to carry on the job site, being able to carry extra bits, because on those times when I don't want to go back and forth to the truck or the trailer in order to get one particular screwdriver, when it's just an easy quick fix. So these are the options that I carry the most. This is my personal away from work. This is my personal at work. Sometimes I will carry the Ainsworth when we're just going out. It's a little dressed up a little nicer. I don't wear it very often, but once in a while I will. So these are a look at some of the sheath options available from Leatherman. Some from low quality all the way up to high quality. And most of the Leatherman sheaths of today are actually getting quite good. So a lot of times I'm going to recommend those sheaths because they do offer some extra storage pockets where some of the aftermarket ones do not yet, unless you're going to get into really high dollar custom ones. There's a lot of options available out there though. And you know, it's kind of to each their own. Some people like to horizontal carry, which you're going to get that option with something like the MOLLE compatible sheaths. Now, most of these others that I've shown do not have the ability to horizontal carry. It's one of the very few that will. This has been just a little closer look at some of the different sheath options out there. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button, and I will see you in the next one.